mean shit.
Talking loud in the nighttime air. Voices clash, we get down and care. Opinions flare like they matter so. But who's right, we'll never know.
Gay! Gay! Gay!
Microphones like weapons drawn. Swagger in the twilight dawn. Each word iron, each thought steel. To be heard is the final deal. Howling offense in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one sways. We're offended, you're offended, that's the way. Claim the night with the things we say. Truths clash like broken dreams. Voice to voice, let it scream. What's real in this foggy light? Bow hard till the morning light. Feel the hunger of the crowd. Anxious to erupt so loud. Unity in discord side. Witness as their worlds collide. Howling up and in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one's ways. We're offended, you're offended, that's the way. Claim the night with the things we say. Truths clash like broken dreams. Raise your voice, let it scream. What's real in this foggy light? Battle hard till the morning light. Feel the hunger of the crowd. And just to erupt so loud. Unity in discord's tide. Witness as their worlds collide. Howling offense in the midnight haze. Everybody's offended, each one's way. We're offended, you're offended, that's the way. Claim the night with the things we say. We say. We say. We say. We say. We say.
My mother twitted my fucking temples!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. Oh.
Hey! There we go. There we go. That was so short. What the fuck?
Hope everyone's had a fantastic day. Oh, thank you. I know I have.
Still look like a moderate.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you are new here, please stop it. Oh my God. You're killing me, Smalls. Like legit.
Okay. Wrap it up. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you.
If you are
Appreciate
new
it.
here, hi, hello, welcome. Don't forget to hit our little subscribe button down below. Thank you for clicking on the little button to come sit with us, listen to the craziness going on in the world today. And also, 3 years later, we are back on YouTube, baby.
Yeah,
Can you believe it?
They
Like,
finally dropped the ridiculous bans that they had against us, especially with regards to the goof. Oh wait, you can actually say now what we were saying then, which we were proven 100% right on.
all right. And 3 years later, they finally sent us an email.
You know,
What's up, guys? Oops, sorry for the inconvenience.
yeah, I'm not bitter about it at all. Even though, yeah, whatever. So we're gonna be.
I was just going to say to all of our subscribers that we had on YouTube, so nice to see you again.
Yeah, we
All
have
right,
quite
carry
a
on.
bit. It bothers me.
Jerks.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to be talking about, a big story that's coming out that's happening actually as we speak. There are live streams right now about the No Kings protest, which basically is a global effort in response to What? Any type of national pride? This is basically a communist call to action. Let's be frank with it. That's what it is. We've seen that this stuff has ramped up significantly with regards to these anti-fascist, even though apparently they don't exist. These protests have been getting stronger. They've been getting stronger, more frequent, more violent. And in response to, oddly enough, illegal aliens. I find that weird. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to be talking about Bill C9, and the canary in the coal mine is the UK with the laws that they've pushed and how dystopian those things are and how dystopian things are becoming. Like, well, we'll talk about that, and I'm sure much more. We'll derail. You know, we're good for that. We've always been good for that. But before we do,
Let's kick it, Leo.
Gay!
How can we dance when our earth is turning?
they don't produce anything. They don't do anything.
How do we sleep when our beds are burning? How can we dance when our earth is turning?
I didn't. There we go. I'll put that back. Well, I guess we'll just start with this. So this is from CTV News. Hat or no hat? Am I ugly enough that I need to wear a hat, or am I hot? Like, am I hot? Am I dead sexy where I don't need one? Should I wear a hat?
That is really a weird question. I feel like, I mean, this goes out to the people watching, but I mean, to me, it's depending on your hair day. You're having a good hair day, let it show.
True.
If it's not so great, cap it up, baby.
That's true. I should probably go
Very
find
true.
a hat. I'm scaring the children. It's understandable. It happens. It happens. Okay, so we have this from CTV News. So no Kings protest against Trump plan nationwide and what the GOP calls hate America rallies. Protesting the direction of the country under U.S. President Donald Trump, people gathered Saturday in the nation's capital and communities across the U.S. for No Kings. It was, am I high? No Kings protest. Wasn't this happening in the UK? Okay, yeah, I wasn't wrong. So, what does the UK have to do with the United States?
I don't know a lot, apparently.
Is there a No Kings protest in Canada?
God, I hope not. Okay, so what exactly is the No Kings?
The No King. Well, here I got this from. This is an AI response. The No Kings protest movement in Canada is a social initiative primarily driven by youth and activists. The NDP, just throwing it out there, just so you guys know. Challenging the relevance of the monarchy in contemporary Canadian society. The monarchy has no power here. What are they even talking about? But whatever. Okay. And highlights its colonial legacy based. Colonial legacy is super based. I'm a fan of colonialism, particularly concerning Indigenous rights and sovereignty. The movement gained significant momentum around the coronation of King Charles III in May 2023, with protests held in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, featuring slogans such as "No Kings, No Colonizers," and calls to abolish the monarchy. The monarchy has no power here. You have no power here.
Well, I don't know. They think that they do, especially when it comes to Bill C9, which we will get into later. However,
yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about some tyrants. Speaking of, so in June 2025, Canadian City participated in the International No Kings, No Tyrants protest on June 14th, a date chosen to coincide with Donald Trump's birthday. Oh, how convenient. See, this is the thing. How does it go? the message is never the message. The message is the revolution. Why would, if they're protesting, okay, this is basic 101. If they are protesting King Charles's coronation in May, why would it coincide with Donald Trump's birthday?
I don't. That's a very good question. I mean, it could be like devil's advocate. It could just be completely coincidental where they pick the date and it's just like, oh, weird. Coincidence. Or
No, well, it was intentionally picked to coincide with Donald Trump's birthday. And a U.S. military parade with events in Toronto, Vancouver, and Ottawa expressing opposition to authoritarianism and support for democratic values. So I've had arguments with people, let's say, on the left with regards to democracy and all this type of stuff. They hold a very different view of what democracy is. Like, we have democratic we have democratic how I'm trying to think of the best way to, we have democratic mechanisms, but we're not a direct democracy. Direct democracy is what you see in like Egypt or certain other, you see that in other countries where it's the 51-49. It's the 51% absolutely oppress the 49%. That's what we see.
Yeah.
And so that is what they're advocating for. And so that calls just that they are looking for direct democracy calls into question a litany of issues that they cannot address because they have no idea. Their idea is revolution. Their idea isn't about equality. Well, actually, it's not equality. It's equity. Even they can't define what equality is. So they have all of these weird, useless buzzwords. Last I checked, there's no kings. In fact, only thing that I've really seen, we still have Stephen King. We still have Sean King. Are those two kings that maybe shouldn't be reigning anymore? Like, should they maybe just toss it, into the sunset and do a little King Kong swim off thing?
King Kong. I'd be okay with that.
Should they be doing that? Maybe just
maybe just a little bit. I don't know. It's so funny because some people, like, whether it's any sort of
I'm finding a
entertainer.
hat.
Oh, okay. Whether it's any sort of entertainer, movie star, what do you call it? Oh my God. Novelist, whatever. Author. There we go. I can word. His woo just totally threw me out of track. But it's like, you may like them and you may like the work that they do, but then they open their mouth. And it's like, why are we talking about... Good job, Tyler. Why are we talking about politics and stuff like that? Like, that's not why I'm interested in you. Like, just do your job and I'll do my job. Okay, seriously, where are you? This guy, I tell you. So you can't feed the plant.
Feed me Seymour. Feed me all night long.
I mean, when you just put me on so this is a live show every Monday and Wednesday and Saturdays. So I apologize for the mess ups. When he just puts me on the spot and disappears, it's like I freeze up and I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So now if you just hurry up and get the F back here.
That for this world.
Oh my God. Jeez, do you have to go run outside for it or something? Our house isn't that big.
I literally had to.
Oh. Oh, it's in the truck.
Yeah. So I think this is one thing that conservatives really miss. Is that
air?
The left is very organized. Like, Antifa is an international organization. Their tendrils reach far and wide. And so
Are you dying, Homer?
no. Well, yes. I think we're all dying. Ultimately, don't we all just die? So I think that what
That got dark. What the hell?
okay, ADD, chill out. Okay. I don't even know. Can I say retard anymore?
I don't know if you can on YouTube. And today's our first day back. Who knows how long we're going to be last on YouTube, guys?
Retread. Just call it retread. Okay, but so the left is very organized. They have, like I said, they have their tendrils are deep and they extend long and far around the world. In fact, I just seen the Democrats, which has been the party, that they've instilled themselves in culture. That is their thing. The liberals in Canada, they do the same thing. They, as Andrew Breitbart said, politics is downstream from culture. Well, the liberals make themselves the culture. That's what the liberals have done. They ingratiate themselves with the community or with the culture so that culture reflects them. And I think conservatives kind of look at more of a meritocratic and culture is secondary. It's like, maybe like your allegiance to family or faith or, other things like that. There's more value. And actually, one thing that really kind of blew my mind, I was having a conversation with one of our kids about rights because they were learning about rights in school. And I asked him, well, where do they say that rights come from? And he said the government.
Yeah.
It comes from the government. And that is such a fundamental break. It's no different. Like when these people are protesting no kings, what was a king seen as? Where like that they were imbued. They were divine as God.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So them protesting someone who doesn't view themselves as a god, but liberals, and as someone who does not believe in an organized religion, is straight up not religious in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that defaults from books like the Secular Humanist or Communist Manifesto or the Satanist Bible, if there's no God, then you are God. That's the shift that has been made. And I reject both. And that's where I end up getting shoved into a weird corner because I don't believe that there's a supernatural power, but I also don't think I'm in any way, shape, or form divine or some type of spiritualness.
No, I would think you're a narcissist if that were the case.
Well, narcissists and a lot of these people are absolutely nihilist. I've had conversations with these people that they said the further or the faster that humans get off, are removed from the world, the better off the world will be. We are the disease.
Yeah. What was that? Oh my God. What did that guy say? Something about something pigs? What did he call us? Oh my God. It'll come back to me eventually.
I don't know what you're talking about. Called us pigs?
Yeah, that we were nothing but or vermin or something like that. I can't remember what it was. You're supposed to remember these things for me.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Eaters. Useless eaters.
Eaters.
There we go. There we go. I knew it would come back to me eventually. Good break.
Well, and this is like I get where he's coming from. Sorry, I'm dying.
Apparently. Don't die.
That there are people, and you know what the funny thing is, I look at like how a lot of liberals act today, as the useless eaters. The people that don't contribute to society, don't contribute to culture, their whole thing is tear down crabs in a bucket. They're not looking at actually empowering people. The amount of like racist stuff that I've seen coming from the left
Oh my
is
God.
astounding.
The
Because-
funny thing is that's normally where I see it coming from. It is very rare I see racist stuff coming from the right.
Well, look at how they made a big mountain out of a molehill out of a private text chat.
God, right.
They made an absolute this is the bifurcation, and this is where we see the cleaving of Canada, of North America, of the West, is where those people were more pissed off that Jimmy Kimmel got yanked for a week. They were more mad about that than someone sharing their opinion. We've seen polls have come out that, what is it, like 33% of Democrats say it's justifiable to use violence to. No, what?
No, I was just going to say, and with that too, that you have, like, think about the video that was going around about Charlie Kirk. There was more of an outrage over Kimmel being removed for a week than there was about the video that everybody was subject to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that was literally a person being murdered. Like, people are more outraged over some guy who's not even funny being removed for saying not good things, horrible things, and then someone actually being hunted and executed all over the place. I
on live TV.
Don't get it.
They were more bothered by that. And
yeah,
like, I look at, like, what was the off ramp? What is the off ramp? How do we stop this? Well, you see with no kings. Well, it's just I think since COVID, the mask was fully taken off. Like, yes, it's been kind of broiling with like Occupy and all that stuff. But I think when they pulled the trigger, the proverbial trigger, was COVID. The mask came off and they said, okay, now's our chance for change, to change the world. And we will do it by whatever means necessary. And so we have, I fear that things will get more violent, more instances of extremist ideology will permeate,
unfortunately.
will propagate, and will be cheered by the mainstream media, because especially in Canada, we have a media that's subservient to the government, not in opposition to. Notice they only ask questions to conservatives and push back on their views, fact check them. But they don't fact check the Liberals. They don't fact check the NDP. They don't fact check anyone else but the conservatives, which I have my own gripes with.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I find it funny that I'm more right on them on positions where I'm classically left, like I'm left leaning. But
yeah,
so you see, I fear that the off ramp. I've seen people say that Charlie was the off ramp. He was.
I feel like that was the quote unquote straw that broke the camel's back. Like that was the final straw.
Yeah, so I think these no king protests are, again, just these. They're all funded. Like, I've been watching a lot of is it Caitlin Bennett? She does like a lot of like men in the street videos. I guess woman in the street. Shut up, bitch. Woman or man in the street videos, just going to like left-leaning protests and just asking questions. And you see the hate. It's so funny hearing the people that espouse no hate and compassion are the most hateful and incapable or incompetent or intolerant people I've ever had the displeasure of meeting.
Yes, I 100% agree with that statement.
So
I can't even tell you how many conversations I've had with people on that side that literally, like, my jaw just hits the ground. I'm like, are you guys even hearing the stuff that's coming out of your mouth right now? I'm talking to you respectfully, and this is what's coming out of your mouth. Holy crud. Wow.
Holy shnikes.
I know it's so hard to edit myself. If anybody, well, nobody knows me here, foremost, but to anybody who does know me, knows I don't even censor myself at work. Like, I swear like a trucker. I swear he is a trucker, and I swear more than he does. So this is actually really hard for me. So I hope you appreciate it.
Okay, so in nearby Washington, Brian Raymond carried a large American flag and said being called a terrorist all week by Republicans was pathetic. This is America. I disagree with their politics, but I don't believe they don't love this country. I believe they're misguided. I love how they find the most milquetoast. Like, hey, I agree with Raymond. I believe that. Wait, hold on. Is this a large American flag and being called a terrorist all week by Republicans was pathetic. This is America. Make sense. Well, the Republicans have been getting more poignant in their anger, and they're calling things out.
But are they not normally the ones that are waving the American flag? Just like the conservatives here are normally the ones actually raising the Canadian flag.
Yeah.
So that's just weird to me.
So I believe they are misguided. I think they are power hungry. Well, I was watching that Steven Crowder, the black and white on the gray issues.
Did you watch both parts?
I was watching the second part, and it's so backwards hearing black people say the same talking points that the Democrats say. And I've long since held that when you're talking to a liberal, you're talking to the media through them. You're getting the media talking points, and then once you break through the media talking points and you actually get to the person, that's where I think actual conversation happens.
Yes.
But it's like you have to, all right, here's this talking point, this talking point, this talking point, and you're just going on and on and on. It's like, yeah, refute this, this was wrong. Here's the context of this, blah, 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 blah. Now can we have a conversation? Now that the talking points, that the media's talking points have been assuaged, now can we have a conversation where I get to talk to you, the person, not Brian Stelter or Joy Reid or whoever?
Well, I think it was really eye-opening too. Well, eye-opening, but also not surprising for me anyway, is that, when he's saying like, okay, well, what if before, this whole him talking about the white supremacists and neo-Nazis and stuff like that are bad and should be condemned, but there are good people on both sides. He's like, what if they had that there? And it's with them, they're like, and he's saying, well, but you just heard there's good people on both sides. And they're like, yeah. Well, what if I told you this is what he said before? Well, then that would be news to me. I didn't hear that. And it's just, you hear that, and it's like, and through the whole conversation, like it would come up here and there. And they're like, yeah, but I didn't hear that. Where are your sources? And he's like, I'll give you my sources. Like, I'll show you. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what was said before. And it's just, you can literally see them say in real time that, if this was said pre this statement, it would have been taken much differently. You know what I mean? Like, they're saying, well, if this was said, then I would understand this. But that's not what was said. This is what was said, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So it was crazy to see in 2025, the year of our Lord, praise Jesus, was they were still they still had those old talking points. Like, that was the one thing like that broke Brandon Struck.
I don't know who that is.
Look up his story. I would love to have him on and tell his story and everything that he's doing.
Can you synopsize it for me?
I'll synopsize it for you. Relax. What the hell, GOG?
GOG, what's GOG?
GOG, good old games. It just decided, hey, you want an update?
Oh.
What are you on about? Dickhead. Yeah, fucking dickhead. so his whole thing that he was a leftist. He hated Trump. He believed the media, everything they were telling him, hook, line, and sinker. And someone forced him. Watch what he said. Watch it. And he did. And he went, holy crap. Now he's the opposite way. Like, he's like, did we even go to the moon?
Right.
Like,
Starts
that's
putting lots of things into question. Yeah.
Yes. So if they were willing to lie about that and you believed it, that's when that's when true change happens. That's when actual change. When you point the mirror in their face and say, look at what you've done. Look at what was actually said, and look at the lies that you perpetrated under that.
Well, see, and the sad thing is a lot of people don't give you the time to prove them wrong because they don't want to be proved wrong. So
It's
what I mean by
painful.
that is that
Like,
I could say
it's painful. I get it. It actually hurts when you believed something for so long and someone says and shows you. It's not
Yeah.
just to say, but to show you.
but a lot of people don't even let you get to that point of being able to show. Like, you try to say that's not true, that's not true. And like a famous thing in the game that I play, what do they say? Pictures or video. So when someone's telling me something, that's literally my response is pictures or video. Show me. But the thing is, woo, but like, you can't, when you're actually talking to somebody else who's on what feels like the opposite side, even though technically you're on the same side, but whatever. I'm centrist.
Well, the line has moved. The line moved
1,000%. Like, so far, it's ridiculous. But when you're talking to somebody there and you're like I can show you or look it up, and they're like, no, I don't want to. Or
because
they
it
just
hurt.
keep arguing the same talking points. It's like, will you please stop arguing the media talking points and actually listen to what I'm saying? And I will actually show you proof. I will show you proof. Like, and the thing is, for me, well, and you, because you're this way too, because it was the same. We were exactly the same growing up. Like, when we were both raised in a religious household and we had questions for our religious leaders, and they couldn't answer those questions for us, that we kind of like, And both of us ask a lot of freaking questions, whether it's at work, whether it's in home life. I need to know the end, like why, before I can understand the how, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
know someone said that quote. I don't know who it was.
yeah, I think it was you. So
Yeah. Once I
but
understood
that's exactly
the why, I could understand the how.
Yeah. And that's literally how both of us
I think it's
operated
backwards.
our whole lives.
Once I understand the how, I can understand the why. How are they doing, or what? Yeah, I'm all retarded.
No. It's why. Like, in the end, like, whatever, regardless, one of the two. But it's
why are they
exactly
doing it?
that.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this to get to this
I'm destroying my own quote. I'm destroying my own quote. Once I understood the why, I could understand the how. Why are they doing it? Then how they implement it.
Yes. So exactly with that. And like, I've operated that way at work all the time. And unfortunately, you have some of those quote unquote supervisors or managers that think you're being insubordinate because you're asking questions, which you're not. And luckily, I have fantastic supervisors and managers now, but that's irrelevant. But that's the thing, is when having a conversation with someone, if they would actually just stop and the logic part, okay, well, pictures or video. And like, you and I have had conversations before about how men think more logically, women think more emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And which is very true. And I've tried for many years, especially since we've started the podcast, because I recognize I have more of an emotional brain, and that's how I respond to things. And I've had to dial what?
She said it, not me.
And I've had to dial it back and actually try to think more like you, and vice versa. In certain situations, you've had to try to think of more of the emotional side as opposed to the logical side. But the thing is, that's how relationships or even discourse works, is two sides trying to understand the other side. If you can't, then there's literally no point. You're talking to a freaking wall.
Well, and this is one thing, and this is why I say like the it hurts to have your worldview shattered.
I mean, I get that.
But the more and more it happens, like, hey, I was wrong about this thing. Like you can't even count the number of times where I've held a position or just on a particular subject, and my opinion's been changed. And I have to rethink and recalibrate. And okay, does that fit with my worldview? If not, then it has to be chucked out. Like if my logic or my understanding or the information that I have is not coinciding, isn't making sense, am I being emotional? Because that's like emotion makes you make irrational decisions. We know this. So the left tends to operate on emotion, where the right tends to operate on logic, being factual. This is why, you can see, people like Donut Operator, like, or just any kind of like mainstream people that are pushing back against bullshit narratives, where you see, and as the phrase goes, the lies traveled halfway around the world before the truth even gets its pants on.
Yeah, it's a game of telephone.
Well, it's not even a game of telephone. It's just it's emotional. Like look at you can look at like how the media, and I hold the media to account for a lot of this, because when algorithms started becoming more and more prevalent, what pissed people off? In the early days, it was like some type of injustice. Maybe it was like racial injustice, or, you see a police officer doing something untoward or potentially illegal to someone. And,
Yeah.
you started seeing like all these buzzwords getting pushed more and more and more. And then, so you seen, police officer in racist tirade against unarmed black man, and then you kept seeing it build and build and build. That wasn't enough, because your dopamine triggers, or your emotional response, then you get used to it. So we have to up it. We have to keep upping it. Just like any type of junkie, any type of addict, you have to keep raising it, because you're always chasing the dragon. And so eventually there's an article. Maybe I should try and find this article, but it's like every buzzword possible was shoved into this headline. It was like, unarmed black man attacked by police signifies transracial climate injustice. It's like that.
Oh my God. Okay.
Like, it's every single buzzword. So like that's the peak of the mountain. That's like the tippy top. And now it's kind of like, well, how much further can we go? Because like you've hit the proverbial mountaintop. You have every single buzzword, and now what? They just like swap out buzzwords. Like it's like a dartboard, or like an idea board, where you just like throw shit at it. It's like, actually, hold on.
You should do that.
Hold on, I think actually, yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, for me personally, like, I've come to, I hear certain quote unquote buzzwords, and it literally just makes me roll my eyes. Like, I'm sorry, I can't no longer take you seriously if you start talking about misinformation, this is that phobe, da 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 da. Okay, I can't talk to you. Like, you've lost me. Once these buzzwords start getting hit, I've lost interest, because I know exactly what your game is and what you're trying to do, and I can't.
Okay. I'm trying to find, I'm pretty sure Ryan Long had like a video on like how news media creates a story, and
Okay.
News.
Did you look that word up?
I'm trying to find it. Is this?
No.
I wish that sucks. Okay,
I
well,
just-
this isn't.
I see
it.
how to sell a protest footage.
Well, you know what? Here, I'll play this because it's fantastic.
That's literally the one I was just mentioned.
Will sell their footage to either CNN or Fox News. But when you do that, you only get to sell half of what you actually film happening at these events. You might be able to sell your peaceful protest footage to CNN, but then you're stuck with all this footage of looters rioting, which is why I've developed a technique that allows me to sell to both. They call me the chief because I use every part of the buffalo. Well, Fox News calls me the chief. CNN got offended that a white person used the word buffalo. For example, yesterday, some protesters were antagonizing the police, throwing rocks at them. Clip that out. Vintage Fox News. Then moments later, when the police responded with wildly excessive force, now I have a clip for CNN. A shopkeeper saying something racist obviously goes to CNN. The looters robbing him blind 5 minutes before Fox News. Last week, black protesters talking about how they're fighting oppression. Classic CNN. But then when he goes on to say that's why black people need the Second Amendment, chop that puppy up, a little something for Fox News. Sometimes they make special.
Oh my
requests.
God.
I had a black cop acting aggressive. They asked me if I had that in white. And recently Fox News put a
If I had that in white.
burning flags. But instead of hitting the streets again, I realized that if I get creative with the titles, I can oftentimes sell the same piece of footage to both organizations without even making any cuts. For Fox News, I have black protesters beat up white student and then rename that Freedom Fighters Defend Against Trump Supporter. For Fox News, I have a legal immigrant attacks baby. For CNN, I've renamed that clip Dreamer Supports Extremely Late Term Abortion. I have two distinct folders. For Fox News, cops being chill, protesters being outrageous. And for CNN, I have cops being outrageous, protesters being super chill. I learned that the hard way when I accidentally sent footage of black teenagers cleaning up the streets to Fox News. They emailed me back saying, what the hell are we gonna do with this? I said, if you play it backwards, it looks like they're littering. They said, we already tried that. We don't think it's gonna play for our viewers. I said, I think you'd be surprised. Cha-ching.
Oh my God, that is good. I love it. Smart.
Yeah, but so
Hi, man.
you know, and we've seen how this has exploded. When we talk about one news article, you know, like even when Crowder was doing that thing, and they said the very fine people hoax. They talked about it and they believed it, and he had to go, no. Even if that was the case, what if I showed you this? Would that change your mind? Would you now have to look at that in a different light? And so I guess initially I was I was saying about like you know how Brandon Strzok, how his worldview completely changed because he was forced to actually get the actual information. And so when you see these No Kings protests, you see, well, I can show you the article right here. Like, look at what they decide to look at the photos. Like, look at the things that they have. Make fascists afraid again. Another world is possible. Defend the people, defy the dictator. Trump domestic terrorist. That's just what I'm able to see. What is this? Probably like hands up, no, don't shoot or some garbage. Like these people are just dumb. Let's be real. These people are just stupid. They're the epitome of like emotionally stunted, emotionally charged children. That's how I view them.
So yes. So with that, it's funny because surprisingly I was able to find this quickly. I was watching one of my favorite things to watch, Lefties Losing It. Love it. Even though, yes, you've told me the kind of hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
But I digress. They were talking about a actor who suffered from major TDS that is actually saying good things about Trump now. He has changed his mind. Where am I?
Freaking Michael Rappaport?
Negator. But that would be interesting.
No, he has. He changed it.
Really?
Yeah, he totally changed it. Yeah, he changed it too.
Oh, good. But anyway.
No, his last thing he said was like big dick Donald Trump. Called him big dick because he was actually willing to stand up, and you're yeah. Anyways, all right.
Okay, so here we go.
Does she not look like an autistic lion?
She looks like a cat to me, but I guess lion is a cat. So yeah,
A lion is a cat. You
I agree.
dick.
I just said that. I mean, okay.
But Bill Maher's had a recovery, somewhat of a recovery that was turbocharged when Kid Rock organised a dinner with the president. Now he is singing his praises and trying to make other TDS sufferers see sense. Here he is with Hollywood actor William H. Macy.
You cannot ever deny success. You just have to give your respect, even if it's not your thing. Don't have the humility to give it up for enormous success on any level.
I agree.
Trump, not my choice. Didn't vote for him, but
a lot of people did.
And he's. I can't deny the success.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I kind of have.
Sorry, I didn't realize that I was muted there. I was just gonna say, yeah, and honestly, like when people can actually look at things, like look to the big picture of things and be like, you know what, I might have been wrong, instead of just being so closed-minded by media talking points. That's when you kind of open up. Like, do I agree with everything Trump says or does? No. Do I absolutely love him and think he's a god? No. But I do like him, and I can recognize the successes that he's done. I mean, when you think about the whole Gaza Israel thing, like in Israel, they are literally praising him. They have made red hats that say President of Peace. Like,
yeah, and that was the distinction that I was making at the time. And I think a lot of people were like, hey, we don't want to see civilians getting blown up. Okay, we have a big issue with that. And like to think that they somehow that Gaza has like this free and fair election, it's like, well, no, they don't. But what we were saying was, if these people wanted to actually be free, they need to stand up to their captors, their actual oppressors, Hamas, who was actually like, because like, hey, I see the same thing. If Canada was, say, like bombing, United States cities, and the United States said, okay, well, obviously we have to take some type of response. We can't have Americans being killed. Reasonable response, right?
it's fair, I would feel, yes.
So I think
Vice
with the United
versa.
States, yeah. And so I think that with that type of response, that's what everyone was saying. Like, hey, I think Gazans should stand up to their oppressors, Hamas. Because we've seen the videos of Hamas using civilians as human shields. We've seen them being embedded in hospitals, in schools, in these neutral territory or buildings. And so, that's one thing that they've done. And we've seen that happen with the whole war on terror. Like, you just see what's happening. Like, you see it happening. And now that if they're saying like Donald Trump saved us. Well, now what? Like now what do you see the leftists pissed off about? Like, what are you dickheads protesting about now? You guys asked for the end of Gazans being killed. You wanted Israel to stop. Trump got the deal done, and you guys went, well, what? Trump got it done? Trump, the orange evil man, that son of a bitch, he got the job done? He created peace?
Well, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like these people don't seem to be happy, like it with anything. And the thing is, you can hate somebody. Like I did not like Trudeau. I hated him. But if there was some big thing that he went and he was actually responsible for creating peace between two warring countries, let's just say at the time when he was in office, Russia and Ukraine, I would be like, you know what? I don't like him, but what he did was an amazing thing. Like, you need to be able to at least recognize the good that people can do. You may not agree with them at all times. You may not like everything they do, but this was a good thing. Like a very good thing. Like, can we not just recognize this and move on? I don't know. I don't understand people. It's funny.
I'm trying to find there was a couple clips
Well, while you're looking for those clips
from the Washington Times, loony lefties go silent after Trump ends war in the Middle East. For 2 years, a vocal contingent of activists. Well, you've seen people like Greta Thunberg. You know, you've seen these political activists, and like even her. Like, this is what I hate. This is what I love and I hate about honest people, is that for them to tell a lie is actually painful. But to these people, they just do it so flippantly. So, Greta, whatever, had her
Lord Farquaad.
Yes, Lord Farquaad had their flotilla of aid to Gaza, which they had no aid on there. So they went into an active military zone and created a potential humanitarian crisis.
Yeah.
And you remember what happened, like when that flotilla was going, there was a devout Muslim was on this flotilla, and he left because he found out the people on that boat were all like gay people.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, this is how brain broken these people are.
Well, and then you see her literally complaining, like, I was put in solitary confinement for 12 hours. I didn't get good food, blah, blah, blah. What did you expect? What do you think you're going to go there and protest and insert yourself into here, and they're just going to treat you like royalty? And then you're going to sit there and complain because they didn't treat you so great. But I will say, all the not so great things that they did treat you with wasn't even that bad. So relax.
Well, and for her, and for her and people like her to say, like, I was abused, I was assaulted, they kicked me, they hit me, and all this stuff. Well, don't even I wonder why. Show the proof.
Yeah.
Because me just asserting thing with no evidence, like most normal people are gonna go, yeah, that doesn't jive. That doesn't sound right. Do you have proof of that instance? Otherwise, you're just telling stories. We're just sitting around a campfire, and you're telling, that the biggest fish you caught was actually 2 times bigger than what actually happened. No, did they maybe like push you around forcefully because they're in a military conflict with people who like to strap bombs to children? Or is it maybe that? Maybe because they probably took better care of you. This I don't know this, but I'm just gonna speculate. They probably treated you better because you are a public figure. So they probably made sure that you had food. She's like, oh, they only gave me a sandwich. Like, you're the only hostage in human fucking history to actually be forced out. You're the only hostage in history to be expeditiously removed.
Right? Like, get this girl out of here. 100%.
Yeah, they're like, no, go away, leave.
Well, and the funny thing is, like, if one of our kids decided
by Israel, the forces have kidnapped me, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm a paid corporate shell, and I'm a part of the worst instance. Fuck, shut up. Maybe if that chick actually like stayed in school, maybe got a bit of an education. Like, I don't know. Maybe that rather than something. You watch your language. I just said dumb.
I have been. No, you've sworn a lot in the past like 30 seconds. Oh my God.
Dumb people piss me off. God damn it.
But what I was gonna say was, like, if one of our kids decided that, hey, I'm going to go jump on this dirt bike and I'm going to go take these jumps over here and end up getting injured, I would be like, honestly, like, obviously I'm going to be hoping my child is okay. But at the same time, I'd be like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, especially if they looked all surprised and shocked that they got injured. What did you think that was going to happen? Like, you're literally going on a bike, you're jumping on these things. You don't know what you're doing. And you don't have proper protection on. Did you think you were going to come out unscathed? This isn't a video game.
See, but so I have this clip. So like we were kind of touching on like Bill Maher, and he's kind of changed the tune. Mind you, Bill Maher is always like 5 years late to everything. Always. Okay. So that's one thing you got to realize. Like, where he is where people are 5 years ago. And then people praise Bill Maher because he's fashionably late. Always. So, do you remember this exchange that happened? This was over a decade ago. Over a decade.
Want to talk about, of course, is that you and I.
So this is between Sam Harris. Sam Harris is completely his brain has been broken. But so this is in a debate, obviously a heated debate on Islam.
I have been trying to make the case, I think, I have anyway, that liberals need to stand up for liberal principles. This is what I said on last week's show. Obviously, I got a lot of hate for it, but all I'm saying is that liberal principles like freedom of speech, freedom to practice any religion you want without fear of violence, freedom to leave a religion, equality for women, equality for minorities, including homosexuals. These are liberal principles that liberals applaud for. But then when you say in the Muslim world, this is what's lacking, then they get upset.
Yeah.
Remember, this is 10 years ago. Okay? We're still having this discussion now.
That's
with
insane.
The whole queers for Palestine until they find out. You know, while this is playing, I'm going to see if I can find that clip.
Yeah, well, liberals have really failed on the topic of theocracy. They'll criticize white theocracy. They'll criticize Christians. They'll still get agitated over the abortion clinic bombing that happened in 1984. But when you want to talk about the treatment of women and homosexuals and free thinkers and public intellectuals in the Muslim world, I would argue that liberals have failed us. And the crucial point of confusion, thank you.
Thank God you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning, right? And
Shut up,
is interesting
Dave.
is they're talking about the failures of liberals.
But
we're talking,
is the mother lode of bad ideas.
Jeez.
Okay.
Ideas are racist. Basically, you're racist.
Look at that handsome son of a bitch. That's a little baby face David Rubin. You little, you just want to pinch his cheeks. All right.
And then Bill is saying, no, you're not listening to us. We are making the distinction between most people and the extremists. I think that is extremely clear. Ben just keeps taking this idea that he wants to believe that they're saying and keep pushing the idea. Okay, so let's continue.
Ben, we have to be able to criticize bad ideas. And
Of course we do. No liberal doesn't want to
okay,
criticize bad
but
ideas.
Islam
But
at
why
this moment
would-
is the mother lode of bad ideas.
Jeez.
Okay, so this is kind of a bad line
I want to know what Ben's saying though.
by Sam. Now he makes a distinction of saying right now when he's saying is
okay.
the book itself, the way that people aren't.
We have
that could be a perfectly fine argument, but again, I think this is a bit of a dicey line by Sam.
So we have
That's just
ideas
a fact.
like
It's not-
blasphemy.
it's not a fact. It is
It's
an ugly thing to say.
apostasy.
It is-
It's
basic liberal
well, let me
principle
unpack
of
it.
tolerance.
Let me unpack it.
But not for intolerance.
No, of course not. But
Okay, Bill makes a
Okay, sorry.
Okay, but
I'll try and find the condensed clip. Yeah, Dave, I know cultural commentary, yada yada yada.
I want to know what you literally see them. They're kind of arguing with Ben Affleck, but why? What is the argument?
So
What is
Sam
Ben saying?
Well, because he had to virtue signal and talk about Palestine and we love Palestine and all this whatever.
Really, 10 years ago? Wow.
Yeah. I'm trying to oh, the clip's not available. Why is the clip not available?
Probably because we're in Canada.
Probably.
Censored. You know, if you would have put that VPN on,
It's
you probably
true.
would have been able to watch it.
That's true.
Send me the thing. I might be able. Well, no, because if I switch us mid thing, I might ruin the live stream.
Hey, check this. So this is a Queers for Palestine thing.
Oh no! Stop!
Do you hear her? What she's saying? She's saying you're
No.
disgusting. You're disgusting.
Look at my flag. I'm not disgusting.
There was another one of there was a lady, she was in like a freaking hijab, like full on. She was dressed up and saying like stop supporting Queers for Palestine because in Palestine, you guys would be killed.
Right? And it's so funny how these people or those people don't listen.
Oh,
like,
is this
You go to Palestine and see how they treat you there. They're not like gay people. If they'll throw you off a fucking bridge. People who hate you, who would burn you to death and use you as an example. Go ahead, touch me with that flag. I will rip it out of your hand. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of anybody. Okay?
I love it. You're awesome. Keep it up.
Go, girl.
Is that Alex Stein?
I don't know.
That looks like that has to be Alex Stein.
Oh my God, is that a gay Lego? What is happening here?
Well, what do you think?
Goodbye, YouTube. It was nice to be back for a day. Oh my God. Jeez.
All right. Is someone able to grab that clip of let's see, Sam Harris?
Is someone able to?
Debates. Well, there's a bunch of people in chat right now. Debates. Oh my God, Ben Affleck. Affleck. Is this it? Radical Islam. There we
Again,
go.
like I was saying, you know,
There we go.
entertainers used to love certain.
Want to talk about, of course, is that you and I have been trying to make the case, I think, I have anyway, the principles like freedom of liberals
have really failed on the topic of theocracy. They'll criticize white theocracy. They'll criticize Christians.
Yeah.
They'll still get agitated over the abortion clinic bombing that happened in 1984. But when you want to talk about the treatment of women and homosexuals and free thinkers and public intellectuals in the Muslim world, I would argue that liberals have failed us. And the crucial point of confusion, thank you.
Ooh,
You guys are here. Yeah. Well, I mean, the crucial point of confusion is that we have been sold this meme of Islamophobia, where every criticism of the doctrine of Islam gets conflated with bigotry toward Muslims as people.
Right.
And that is it's intellectually ridiculous. Even it gets.
So hold on, are you the person who understands the officially codified doctrine of Islam? You're the interpreter of that, so you can say.
So okay, so Harris is just talking about. Well, here I'll back it up a little bit.
Toward Muslims as people.
Right.
And that is it's intellectually ridiculous. Even it gets.
So hold on, are you the person?
Oh, here, I'll back it up a
I
little.
mean, the crucial point of confusion is that we have been sold this meme of Islamophobia, where every criticism of the doctrine of Islam gets conflated with bigotry toward Muslims as people.
Right.
And that is.
See, so the point that he's making is that we can separate the idea from the person.
Okay.
Okay. I've had to bone up on my Quran reading, and I 100% agree with him. But you know,
is that why you were listening to the Quran the other day?
Yeah.
So weird. God, I'm
Every
driving through
criticism
downtown,
of
and
the
all of a sudden I'm like,
doctrine
why are
of
you
Islam gets
listening to
conflated
the
with
Quran?
bigotry toward Muslims as people.
Right.
And that is it's intellectually ridiculous. Even it gets.
So hold on, are
conflated with
you
racism.
the person who understands the officially codified doctrine of Islam? You're the interpreter of that, so you can say, well, this is.
I'm actually well educated.
Do you
on
know
this topic.
any of
I'm
it?
asking you. So
Ben?
you're saying if I criticize you're saying that Islamophobia is not a real thing. That if you're critical of something,
Well, it's not a real thing when we do it.
right?
Well, no,
It
no,
really isn't.
I'm not denying that certain people are bigoted against Muslims as people.
Right.
And that's a
That's
problem.
big of you.
But
But why are we so
have to-
hostile about this
Because it's
concept?
gross. It's racist.
It's not. But it's so not.
It's like saying
It's
those
so not. You're-
stateless, shifty Jew.
You're not listening
Absolutely
to
not.
what we are saying.
You guys are saying if you want to be liberals, believe in liberal principles like
Right.
freedom of speech, like
Right.
we are endowed by our forefathers with an inalienable rights, like all men are created
No.
equal.
Ben, we
Okay.
have to.
In the image of who, Ben? You dumb Hollywood.
Chill.
Read your own documents, dude. This is why, like, Hollywood people, I love them so much better when they just shut up,
That's
play
what
the
I'm saying.
characters. Once they start getting into this realm, once they start talking about this stuff,
You realize
they
how
have,
stupid they are?
yes, yeah, I guarantee you, Ben has no idea what's in the Quran. He
Well-
couldn't tell you what's in there,
Yeah.
what it teaches, what it espouses. He has no clue, but he has to virtue signal, and that's what these people do. They have a surface level understanding of what someone told them the Quran is, rather than at least reading the documents, then seeking that information, seeking clarification, or seeking understanding. Ben hasn't done that.
I was literally just going to say that to you too. Like, he probably doesn't, like, as soon as he was asked like about the Quran, he's like, oh, are you the interpreter? It's like, okay, well, before you have so many people who start arguing against something, but they actually have no idea what they're talking about. Like, I may know little bits and pieces of certain things and can say, like, in my moral standing, I don't think that this is right. However, I can't sit there and argue the Quran. I can't even argue the flipping Bible. And I grew up Catholic. I never read the Bible. Homeboy here has read the Bible a few times, which is so weird to me. And now is on to the Quran. But the thing is, you want to argue against something or have an opinion, you should be educated in it. Just talking about certain things or having this super strong opinion and you have no idea what you're talking about, you sound ridiculous.
Well,
you sound
even if you don't understand, like, even if you haven't read it, look at it in practice. That's what you have to do. Look at it in practice. We've seen communism, because every single communist sits there and goes, well, that wasn't true communism. This is actual communism. No, we've seen it in practice. We've seen the doctrine, the teaching, the ideology in practice. In theory is one thing. In practice, we've seen millions upon millions dead. And well, that's not true communism.
Okay.
Well, weird, because that's how it was implemented. And at some point, when you start to see a trend, of, well, every time this has been implemented, a crap ton of people die.
But see, that's just pure ignorance. Like, the thing is, even somebody who grew up Catholic, I can understand that what the Catholic Church did many years ago and the amount of people that they used to kill in the name of God, or the quote unquote residential schools and this and that. I can understand all that. And that was bad. They did bad things. They really did.
Well, see, this is one thing I think that people get wrong with the whole Crusades thing. It's like, when we were talking, when Ryan Long had like that, I clip the video here, I send it off here, I clip the video here, and I send it off there.
It's crazy.
That's how the Crusades are taught. The Crusades are taught that it was just a bunch of pissed off Christians went into the Muslim lands and just started lobbing off people. No. That's not how it started. It's not. So, the fact that, we're going to start this story here. Okay. Well, you're leaving out like the whole preamble as to why the Crusades started. So if the Crusades were in response to Muslim aggression, that's kind of important. And again, this is someone who isn't religious. I care about the facts. And so when you see people like Ben, and you see this a lot in Hollywood, everyone was all about, don't be anti-Semitic until they got the okay to do it. And then it became okay. Ben was giving the marching orders of, don't be Islamophobic. Don't be Islamophobic. I think I've shown this before. Nick Freitas. What the hell was this quote? I'll see if I could find it here. The left. Let's see. Democrats don't argue. I'll see if I could find the short that he has on it. I know I've played it before. I like how it just... Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it here. I like Nick. He's a good guy.
Well, while you're looking, let's we should have a message from our sponsor.
Why?
Yeah.
We at We're Offended, You're Offended have partnered with Mark Gerritson's Giant Forehead to help bring you prime real estate. Mark Gerritson's Giant Forehead is a real estate firm that brings empty promises and poverty right to you.
They have everything from condos, suburban homes, to the ever feeling that an elder god has sapped your will to live. With over 5 years of experience in landlording, you can have confidence in knowing that Mark Garrettson's giant forehead,
Damn, boy, he's thick.
understands that your home should be comfortable, like a bus bench, and just as safe as a COVID hotel. Enjoy the opportunity to socialize with others while waiting in the unemployment lines. And dinner with your friends at the local restaurant dumpster that Mark Garrettson's giant forehead
So big.
attends. As the ever-growing forehead community will soon envelop the universe, call Mark Garrettson's giant forehead
That's a huge bitch.
to see if poverty is the right choice for you.
This is clearly just parody. Everyone should know that everything inside of Mark Garrettson's forehead is actually quite empty. This message is endorsed by Mohammed bin Salman.
Thank you, Mark Garrettson.
Thank you, Mark Garrettson's giant forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we played this before, and I think Nick sums it up perfectly.
Learned something after 10 years of debating Democrats in the House of Delegates and just the woke in general. I was debating, they were diagnosing. Here's what I mean by that. I would say something insane, like, I think we should have better border security. To which they would respond, oh, so you're xenophobic. No, I'm not. I don't have a phobia. I don't have an irrational fear or hatred of other people or different cultures. I just think that when you mass import millions of people from a culture with different legal and social traditions, it's not the best recipe for social cohesion. Oh, so you're a racist. No, I don't believe in the inherent inferiority or inferiority of any person based off of the race. I think you should be judged by individual actions and character. Let me give you an example of what I mean, just so there's no confusion, that I don't hate anybody. Let's say you mass import millions of people from a culture that believes it's perfectly appropriate to stone a woman for exposing her hair in public. And you take that mindset and that cultural tradition and you merge it into the United States overnight. That's probably not going to blend well. Oh, so you're Islamophobic. You see what's going on there? Like, I'm presenting arguments. I'm presenting facts, data, analysis, logic, and they're trying to diagnose what sort of phobia or bigotry I'm guilty of, not so they can engage with my argument, but so they can dismiss it. Learn something.
100%. So that's what Ben Affleck is doing in this exchange. And this is the typical of the uninformed, uninitiated, and the illogical. Sam is saying, hey, we can separate Islam from the Muslim. We can separate those two. We can criticize the doctrine while not hating the individual. We can criticize the book that they're reading. Okay? You can do that. That'd be like if a scientist put out a publication that said, oh, so you're a science denier. It's like, well, no, it's because the study is showing like glaring discrepancies with regards to things. We've talked about, it's been getting a lot of attention where they've talked about left-wing violence and right-wing violence. In right-wing violence, they attribute gang violence in prisons as right-wing political violence. Okay? That is very different than a guy in Portland who said, we have a Trumper here, bang, bang, dead. That's very, very different. One is ideologically motivated, and weird, they leave out all of BLM. All of it. 32 people dead during the BLM riots. In direct response to the BLM riots. How many billions of dollars of damages that was done? How many people were injured?
It was a peaceful protest. What are you talking about?
But that's not counted in that stat. So if someone says, why is that omitted? Well, we can criticize the study without completely disregarding the field itself. You see the difference? There's a big difference between those two. We can criticize the study without destroying the doctrine, or not even the doctrine, the field itself. That's the difference that's going on here. So Ben Affleck took the position of, unless you have a degree in this and you're actually an imam and able to interpret the teachings of Muhammad, the prophet, you don't even believe it, you imbecile.
Well, and that's the funny thing is you're sitting there, you're sitting there defending it wholeheartedly, and you don't even understand it. You're sitting there telling somebody else you can't argue this point because you're not a prophet or whatever it may be, that well educated, but yet neither are you, and this is your strong stance, which is just, it's absolutely ridiculous. But with that, to anybody who is listening, we're a live show every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, and every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. And do the thing.
I'm not fat. I'm big boned.
Just in case everyone was, concerned. But we should shift gears though, and we should start talking about this Bill C9 stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough about Ben Affleck. Affleck. God, I used to think he was good looking back in the day.
He's a handsome man. He's just
he just keep his mouth shut.
It's beauty only takes you so far, and then your mouth and brain better work, otherwise you get ugly really fast.
Right, 100%.
Okay, so we'll talk about Bill C9. Bill C9. So Bill C9 is the most draconian law that is being introduced in Canada.
Please, people, pay attention. Stand against this.
Should I just read the whole act? It's not that much. It's only
do it.
Let's see. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We'll read it live, since apparently liberals and everyone else can't read it themselves. So here it is, Bill C9. Okay, the act may be cited. Okay, Combating Hate Act, Criminal Code. Paragraph A, the definition of offense in section 183 of the Criminal Code is amended by adding the following after subparagraph. Intimidating, building, use religious worship, etc. Subsection 318, section 3 of the act is repealed. Section 139 of the act is amended by adding the following after subsection 2.1. Willful promotion of hatred, terrorism, and hate symbols. Everyone commits an offense who willfully promotes hatred against any identifiable group by displaying in any public place a symbol that is particularly used by or principally associated with a listed entity as defined in subsection 83.01-1. The Nazi Hakenkreuz, is that the swastika? Oh, okay, also known as the Nazi swastika or the Nazi double sigrun, also known as the SS bolts.
Okay.
Those aren't the same thing, but okay.
Yeah.
A symbol that so nearly resembles a symbol described in paragraph A or B that is likely to be confused with that symbol. So ACDC.
I'm sorry to interrupt. The funny thing is, with the way that they have been treating Jewish people in the last little while, I'm surprised they still consider that a thing of hate, a symbol of hate. But carry on.
No person shall be convicted of an offense under subsection 2.2, which is the willful promotion of hatred, if the display of the symbol was for a legitimate purpose, including a legitimate purpose related to journalism, religion, education, or art. Oh, man, these guys really shoot themselves in the foot with this. That is not contrary to the public interest. So if you have a church or a religion, what if you have a church of like Church to Hitler?
Well, that sounds hateful.
Can they discriminate? Because once they discriminate there, I wonder if that challenge would actually be accepted. If they made a church to Hitler.
I don't know. What was the statement?
So you will not be persecuted or prosecuted. You'll be persecuted, but not prosecuted. Sorry. If the display of the symbol was for a legitimate purpose, including a legitimate purpose related to journalism, religion, education, or art that is not contrary to the public interest. That's funny because the public should have an interest in whatever. Or if, in good faith, the display of the symbol was intended to point out for the purpose of removal, matters producing or tending to produce feelings of hatred toward an identifiable group in Canada. So, in good faith. So, they're trying to inversely apply intent, which is very, very hard to prove.
Right?
Intent. I wonder if someone had a church of Hitler who espoused the teachings of Hitler and how amazing he was. Would that be a charter challenge? I think this would actually end up falling under a charter challenge. But
can you say Hitler on YouTube? God, I got to read these things.
Well, it's clearly for a discussion purpose, and we're not espousing the glory or the denunciation. It's simply
Hitler bad.
And it's a logical extreme to their position. If there was a religion that displayed this iconography, would that fall under a protection? Would that be protected, or would they be persecuted? So, what? It's not even those bigger words.
Really? That was a really big word.
Not really. Okay. Clarification: for great certainty, the communication of a statement does not incite or promote hatred for the purposes of this section solely because it discredits, humiliates, hurts, or offends. I hate those last two. This is why violence is objective, not subjective.
You could literally give me a dirty look one day or just look at me wrong, and I could be offended by it.
Hate means the emotion that involves detestation or vilification, and that is stronger than disdain or dislike. I dislike this iconography, but I disdain. You actually have to have a visceral reaction to it. While I have a visceral reaction to seeing rainbow flags everywhere, I have a visceral, noticeable, I feel it in my loins, in my cockles. I feel the hatred brewing of seeing this imagery. Can I now sue people for that?
Probably not, because they'll somehow twist it around and be like, it's only subjective if it's on one side. So if you try and use it on the other side, they'll be like, nay.
Well, let's look at limitations and penalties. So no proceedings shall be commenced under Section 1 by way of indictment if the included offense may be persecuted only by way of summary conviction proceedings. Maximum penalty. Section 5. Everyone who is found guilty of an indictable offense under Section 1 is liable to a term of imprisonment of not more than 5 years if the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 2 years or more, but less than 5 years, 10 years, 14 years, or life if the maximum term of imprisonment included offense is 14 years or more, and up to imprisonment in life for hurting someone's flippin' feelings. Okay. It's funny that I understand the spirit of it, and this is why, like, the spirit of the law and the application or the letter of the law, because everything I'm reading here, are Muslims not doing this right now in Canada? Remember when we played that video of Muslims intentionally doing their little call to prayer in front of a Catholic church?
I guess that doesn't count again because it's on the other side. And just to put that into perspective, in Canada, you get a life sentence, which is up to 25 years for murder. So you saying something that hurt somebody's feelings is as big as a crime as ending someone's life.
Intentionally ending someone's life.
Say what?
So intimidation. Every person commits an offense who engages in any conduct with the intent to provoke a state of fear in a person in order to impede their access to a building or structure or part of a building or structure that is primarily used for religious worship or an identifiable group as defined in subsection 8.1 or 3.184 for administrative, social, cultural, sport events or sport activities or events as an educational institution, including a daycare center, or as a residence for seniors or a cemetery. Obstruction.
I'm sorry. I can't get past this. I really can't. For hurting somebody's feelings, you can end up with the same sentence as someone ending someone's life. Someone of second degree ending of someone's life is 10 years. You could literally be sitting next to some person who literally ended someone's life, see them leave prison and go on and live their life, but you said a bad word and you're stuck in there. How is this like, who made this law, who made these rules, and who was actually like, yes, someone hurting my feelings is definitely worth someone spending the rest of their life in prison.
Remember there was that meme of like it was like a hardened criminal, and then there was like a freedom convoy. It's like, why are you in here? It's like, I posted memes on the internet.
I don't, but that literally, wow.
So no person is guilty of an offense under subsection 2 by reason only that they attend at or near or approach a building or structure referred to in paragraph 1A or a cemetery for the purpose only of obtaining or communication information. Okay, subsection intimidation, building use for, these are just definitions. Offense under subsection 320.1001.1 or -1. For greater certainty, if a court charges an offense under subsection 3-3201-1.1001, and the evidence does not prove that the offense, but proves an included offense, the accused might be found guilty of the offense that is proved. I'm going to read that again, because if that's what it's saying.
Leave out the weird numbers this time.
If a court charges an offense under subsection 3, whatever, and the evidence does not prove that offense, but proves an included offense, that accused or the accused may be found guilty of the offense that is proved. Okay,
what is an included offense?
So, like, if I'm just off the dome piece, if let's say someone obstructs people from entering a church, they might not be found guilty of, let's say, impeding someone's ability to move, but they might be found guilty of this. That's my preliminary understanding.
According to AI, an included offense, also known as a lesser included offense, is a crime that has all of the essential elements contained within a more serious primary offense. A person charged with a more serious crime like robbery can be convicted of a lesser included offense such as theft if the evidence proves that the element of the lesser crime is not the full extent of the greater one. This is the way to ensure that a person isn't acquitted of all charges just because the prosecution can't prove every element of the original charge.
Yeah, so this is okay. So this is like a built-in which I think is quite typical. You know, you might get charged like, you know, because you have to hit certain thresholds. Like, well, we want to charge him with first degree. Like, we assume that he committed first degree, but he might actually get downgraded to a lesser severe punishment. So endorsement.
Well, it's literally this person's going to get charged, and they're going to have to suffer the consequences, whether it is what we're charging them for or not.
So when an offender is found guilty of an offense under subsection 3, blah, 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 the court shall endorse on the information or indictment, as the case may be, the included offense that has been proved by the evidence, and in absence of evidence to the contrary, the endorsement is proof of that fact. So this act comes into force on the 30th day after the day on which it receives royal assent. So, yeah. No, I think this bill, and I think all hate crime bills, all speech crime bills.
Yes.
Out of very, very few, outside of incitement or direct calls for action, I think should be paramount. I hate the idea of my feelings get hurt. So like under this law, because I have a visceral, what if I have a visceral, I actually feel hatred towards a institution displaying iconography that I find repulsive, i.e. a rainbow flag. Can I now sue that company or that institution for promoting hate?
How is somebody wanting you to spend your life in prison for hurting your feelings? How is that not hateful? Like, I would think, like, normally the crime or the punishment fits the crime, right? So if you're saying that you deserve life in prison because you hurt my feelings, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty hateful to me. You're muted. Ugh.
Oh, I hate me. Well, yeah, so this is where this is ultimately going. And if people think like, oh, well, you know, I see lefties all the time. They talk about, well, we have free speech in Canada. No, we don't. We don't. And
nope.
You cannot have hate speech laws and be considered free speech.
No,
I can hate.
Impossible.
Like, what if I hate bologna and cheese sandwiches. I hate them. I think that they're an affront to civilized society, and anyone that consumes it is in line with absolute destruction of the world. If I viscerally believe that, should I be able to charge someone that consumes this product? Should I be able to espouse contempt towards what? Big Oscar Mayer, big baloney? That they're trying to hurt people? Can I do something if someone shows that, hey, you know what? I hate Chryslers. I think Chryslers are inferior. Is that now hate? Because I love Chrysler products. I love Ford. I love Chevy.
Favorite color is lime green. That could be hateful to somebody else. They could hate the color lime green.
Well, and the thing with identifiable groups, every group is identifiable. Every group.
100%.
The whole idea of identity politics is trying to persuade a particular group of people and identifiable, whether it's Christian conservatives, whether it's, left-wing nihilists, whether it's black people, brown people, whether it's, I don't know, apostate freaking Muslims, or was it devout Muslims? Is it Hutterites? Is it, throw in whatever.
Fat, thin, this, that, young, old, like keep going. Day, night.
Homeowners, non-homeowners, homeless. How about government employees? Like all of
breeders, inbreeders, inbreeders. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I mean, you can just, the list keeps going. It'll never end. Everybody can consider somebody else that anything that they say, do, dress, look like could be offensive. Somebody could look at me, a gorgeous, fat blonde woman, white blonde woman, and be offended by the way that I look.
Or like, if I say, could your doctor now be charged with a hate crime if they say, hey, Tubby, lay off the Haagen-Dazs a little bit? It's not good for your health. Could that be considered a hate crime because they're calling out an identifiable group?
Yeah, I think in their logic, 100%. Whereas me, I would go to my doctor and be like, you're probably right. I probably should lay off that shit. Give me the Ozempic. 100%. Facts. So with this, this is a law that they're trying to bring into Canada. Okay. Now, this is also a law that is in the UK right now.
Good old two-tier Kier.
So let's just, let's take a look overseas to our monarchy, to our king, if you say.
Well,
and what it's like
king.
there. Well, technically, he's our king, but
no, he's
not our king. He is our king, but he isn't our king. I don't know.
Not. It's King Charles, you dick. You dickhead.
Yeah.
You bloody cunt. You dickhead.
Watch language. And 2,
nah, you're a good cunt.
Oh my God. Goodbye, YouTube. It was so nice seeing you for like a second. Anyway, so everybody's favorite Trump was recently in the United Kingdom, and they were talking about free speech because the United Kingdom has free speech laws. So let's just take a look, shall we?
Despite what he talked about in Scotland a few weeks ago, we still have 12,000 people a year here being arrested for social media posts, for free speech violations. Does that not remain an important area that there is still a lot of disagreement on?
I'd like to have you answer that. And on free speech,
yeah, you answer it.
That has long lived in this country, free speech. It's one of the founding values of the United Kingdom, and we protect it jealously. And fiercely, and always will, and we will bear down on any limits on free speech. I draw a limit between free speech and the speech of those that want to peddle paedophilia and suicide social media to children, and therefore I'm all for free speech. I'm also for protecting children from things that will harm them, paedophiles, those that peddle suicide, which has had a terrible consequence for individual, particularly teenagers. And so that's the balance we strike. But we have had freedom of speech in this country for a very long time, and we will always protect it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I had a live stream going.
They have free speech.
You don't see, and this is the thing. I agree with where he's saying, but it's when you start getting into the nebulous terms. You know?
Well, okay, but that's the thing though. Like, yes, any sort of pedophile or anything like that should be condemned, and they should be going after people like that. There's such a huge thing,
but they're not
of that honor. Well, that's exactly it. Like that is not what they're actually going after. Why can't I remove this? Hold on. Oh, you pulled it up. That's why I can't remove it. Hold on. But then we got here. So what does it say? Did you know that in early reports are showing that the UK will be on the second straight year of arresting on average 12,000 people a year for saying things on the internet? That is over 30 arrests a day.
Hey, that's a lecturing guy. That's the lecturing guy.
Arrests a day.
Do you know who the lecturing guy is?
I do not know.
What? You know who the lecturing guy is.
I mean, it's highly possible. But then, so...
You want to see who the lecturing guy is?
Then we have here. Okay, show me the lecturing guy before we continue on here. Okay.
This guy. Activate. There we go. That guy.
They called him a terrorist for holding a lecture. Now he's telling the truth. Interesting. Okay.
Don't you remember during J6, he picked up a lectern? Yep. He picked up Nancy Pelosi's lectern, and yeah.
You do now.
That's him.
All right. Did not realize that. Yeah. So with this free speech in the United Kingdom, so get out of here.
Oh my God. Okay.
This thing is so annoying sometimes, I will say. Will this make it bigger? Yes. Okay.
Wait, don't you have the video of this?
Yes, but I need to give a little.
Play the video.
I will.
Play the video.
On August 13th,
play a video.
There was somebody who was detained in London for over 10 hours. He's a lawyer himself. He was detained in London.
Day. I think he set out his position in his statement that he was there as a legal observer. I think that's the concern.
That is what saying.
Yes.
Whoa.
So it said a
But
man
I've
who was
obviously
taken.
got to investigate an allegation, and these are the questions that I'm putting to him to either prove your involvement or non-involvement in the
A man
allegation.
who is a lawyer was accused of antagonizing protesters.
Scoot forward.
So these are two police
What
officers.
necklace are you wearing?
Hey, stop swearing.
Yeah. Because the officer details this in their statement.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna remove it. So skip forward to where he's saying because he's wearing a Star of David, it was seen as offensive and it should have been removed. That it was provoking, because that thing's 6 minutes long. You're muted, by the way. BT dubs. Okay. Here, I have it right here.
Oh, you have the okay. Then please.
What the heck? Ah!
I removed mine. Now add yours.
I know.
Because the Star of David was out and present, two people, which may take either offence to the presence of it, they felt that was antagonising the situation further.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that I think that's, with respect, appalling and shows a complete lack of ignorance on behalf of those officers.
Okay.
Because if they were familiar with the fact that IJAM were organising the protests, then they would recognise that how could a Moghim Dovid cause offence, notwithstanding the fact that, you know, we shouldn't be in a situation where people can't walk around wearing a sign of their religion. It's not like. So I do have a great deal of concerns with the officer's response and the line of questioning, but I've recorded it on tape.
So, to that point,
Hearing these officers justify it and how deep they're willing to go, this gets worse.
Right?
This gets way worse. And just like they seem so like, yeah, you should know. Wearing a Star of David incites people. It's actually a sign to inflame tensions, to make things worse.
I myself, and I believe for the Metropolitan Police Service as well, I don't believe that anyone has acted with a view to cause anyone an offence. However, we're talking about we're not talking about wearing a Star of David. I don't know what you're referring to, a Moghim.
Yeah, sorry, Star of David.
Star of David. I haven't heard that.
Apologies.
We're not talking about walking around with a Star of David chain on his neck in a open forum in public generally. We're talking about a very niche environment where tensions are high, where two sides are coming together, have adverse opinions, adverse views. That I think we can't open it up to say anyone can't walk around wearing what they want to wear. We're not talking about human rights in terms of where what he's wearing in a public forum.
So remember, this is in regards to a protest. What do protests typically have? They have some type of iconography which delineates whether they're adherence or possible contempt to a particular policy or position, something like that. So there was a protest going on, and counter protesters had a Star of David. The person that got arrested was the person that just was wearing a Star of David.
Again, no violence, no nothing being said. They were just wearing a necklace.
But it's like it's incumbent upon you that you might hurt someone's feelings. Someone's feelings might get hurt by this.
What about the people who are on the other side yelling ending of lives of the Jewish people?
How about when we seen in Australia when they were saying gas the Jews, when we seen in America?
To say exactly that, yeah.
Well, this is what they are saying. And they're like, well, you know, you should be more considerate of the people that are calling for a genocide of a certain particular group of people. You need to be more considerate of them because you might hurt their feelings.
Which is funny. He's technically the group that's being attacked. And he is the one, a Jewish lawyer, who was detained for 10 hours in custody because he wore a necklace of his religion. That is literally like people. Like, I literally wear a pentagram. I have worn it for many, many years. People wear crosses. People wear the red thing around their wrist for Kabbalah. They wear the tree of life for Kabbalah. They wear the Sikh bracelets. When I see these things, the Star of David, okay, that's the religion they are. I'm not going to take that as a hateful thing. That is who they are, what they represent. Okay, cool. But there are literally people who are yelling at these other people that I want you no longer to exist on this plane and earth anymore. And that's okay. But because he's wearing a Star of David, he's the one that gets arrested and is in custody for 10 hours.
Were you able to get the one from Basil the Great up working?
I don't know which one that one was. Basil
the next one.
Well, I don't know. I'm on, or which one am I on? Is it the one that you're sitting on right now? Oh, that one. Hold on. Let me check.
Well, I have the one from Queen Natalie. So, here you go. Here's some more. Have some fun. The UK arrested a man in the middle of the night in front of his wife who is battling stage 4 cancer because he posted a Facebook page that he doesn't like seeing Palestinian flags in the he doesn't like seeing Palestinian flags.
Didn't say hate. Didn't say he wants them no longer to live.
Of 2023, on Bethnal Green Road at 10:04, you were witnesses saying, obviously, people, while they're over here, etc., we let them into our country, etc.
So, big deal.
Yeah, okay.
So, big deal.
Why don't you only tell them what you
want? Take him. Disgusting. These are disgusting. Absolutely. I'm a stage 4 cancer patient and I need to here. Make a scene of shoes. Make a scene. You're arresting him because he said something in his face about Hamas, a terrorist organisation.
You haven't been round the block. You don't know what you're talking about. John, have a question. Did you hear that?
What?
Almost Palestinian flags in Bethnal Green Road. And you discussed it. Absolutely discussed that. Why didn't you tell them, John?
Let's have it very, very clear. We have the freedom of speech. If we want to be against Palestine, we will be.
There's no freedom of speech. You're cute.
That's a problem. Did you hear what that cop? You know, this is where BLM and all the ACAB. That's where these people really get me on board. That's your problem. All the guy said is we don't like seeing the Palestinian flags and we can be against them. He said that's your problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, I know. This is your freedom. Look at the cops! Look at the cops!
Embarrassing.
Can you pause it for a sec? All I can think of is who knows how long this person is going to be detained or jailed because he said, and I quote, "I don't like seeing the Palestinian flags everywhere in my country." And his wife, who is literally battling stage 4 cancer, by the time he gets out, what if she is no longer here? They're literally wasting whatever time he is there to help her and be with her and spend time with her because he said, "I don't like something."
Yeah. I don't like something. I don't like seeing it. I don't like it being promoted.
He wasn't calling for the death of people.
Getting arrested because he mentioned Hamas on Facebook.
like Thomas.
You mean Hamas?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all against terrorist organisations. Sorry, unfortunately. We don't like terrorists. Yeah. We don't want terrorists in the country. You can't have an opinion in this country.
You know there are Palestinian flags flying down Bethnal Green Road, and these guys.
Like, no, we need to represent the terrorists. Like, no, I can't get that video to play.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. I don't know why I
it was
like this.
I don't know. It was another video where the British police are drunk on power, and they were literally arresting somebody for an offensive comment online, and wouldn't even tell them what the comment was.
Here you go. Remember this? If anyone hasn't seen this from Konstantin Kisin.
In Russia last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media. 400 people in Russia. Obviously, this country is very different. How many people do you think were arrested in Britain for things they said on social media last year?
Go on.
Take a guess.
I've no idea.
3,300.
Really? Arrested for what they'd said on social media? Yeah. What sort of things get...
Look at that face. Watch his face. That is so telling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Take a guess.
Like, look,
He's
he's
expecting
like,
something so much less.
Yeah, he's like, 2. Maybe, they incited like a terrorist attack.
Take a guess.
I've no idea.
3,300.
Really?
Look at that face right there. That is a man realizing his country is screwed.
Doomed, yeah.
Right there.
Arrested for what they'd said on social media.
Right there.
Are you mad? That's what his internal thing is going.
Yeah.
What sort of things get you arrested?
Well, one example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell, and people can look this up. Her friend was killed in a car crash, 19-year-old woman, and she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram. And there was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. She was arrested, prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours of community service and a fine, tagged,
oh my God.
and for a year she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
My goodness.
In Britain.
In Britain.
In 2018.
Oh my God. Doom Goblin? Sorry. It showed Lord Farquhar there and it said Doom Goblin underneath it. That was funny. You're muted.
Oh, I said, here's the article right here. Woman guilty of racist snapdog rap lyrics Instagram post. Chelsea Russell, 19, from Liverpool, posted the lyrics of Snapdog's I'm Trippin' to pay tribute to a boy who died in a road crash, a court heard. Russell argued that it was not offensive, but was handed a community order. Prosecutors said her sentence was increased from a fine to a community order as it was a hate crime. She was charged after Merseyside police were anonymously sent a screenshot of her update. Grossly offensive.
Oh,
Liverpool Justice Centre sitting at Stephen Magistrates Court. Sefton? I don't know. I don't care. The British are fucking whatever. Heard Russell posted the lyrics to her account after the death of a 13-year-old in a road accident in 2017. The Crown Prosecution Service said. The words Russell used on her account contained a racial label which some people find extremely offensive. The screenshot was passed to Hate Crime Unit. Oh, God. PC Dominic Walker.
They
that
must
guy
feel
should
really
not,
good about themselves.
should not. Is it Dominique? Is that a woman?
I
Should
can't.
not-
It's too small. I can't read it.
should be I'm not saying they should be attacked, but they should be called out. These people need to be called out.
Dominique.
Who told the court the term was grossly offensive to her as a black woman. Oh, shut the fuck up, pussy. And to the is this police commissioner? You mean like the highest order?
Wow. Yeah.
And she's saying they said words and they didn't say words. So there you go. Liverpool, the screenshot was passed to, the Liverpool Echo reported that Russell's defense had argued the usage of the word had changed over time and had been used by superstar rapper Jay-Z in front of thousands of people at the Glastonbury Festival. Prosecutor Angela Conlon said Russell's defense also argued her profile wasn't public, but it had been proved in court that anyone could access it and see the offensive language. She said prosecutors also sourced case law that showed that posting the profile on her account constituted sending it and making it public. Oh, that's so effing dirty. That is so effing dirt. Like that, again, that is where ACAB, you get my support with this type of crap. The fact that someone screenshotted it and sent it, that made it public.
Yep. which is absolutely disgusting. Okay, so then we have, so this was just in 2024.
The offence of incitement to racial hatred involves publishing or distributing material which is insulting or abusive, which is intended to or likely to start racial hatred. So if you retweet that, then you're republishing that, and then potentially you're committing that offence. And we do have dedicated police.
Do you hear that? From retweeting. So you can actually get penalized just for retweeting what somebody else said.
Officers who are scouring social media, their job is to look for this material and then follow up with identification lists and so forth. So it's a really, really serious. People might think they're not doing anything harmful. They are, and the consequences will be visited upon them.
And again, that's according to who? Who is harmful against? Like, so we got another one here. Like, this unfortunately just keeps going on.
It's nothing new. Like, and this is what's terrifying. It's nothing new.
So
Do you not think they put us in fear of violence? Seriously.
Yeah, 4 cops. It takes 4 cops to take down someone for saying something online. It's funny, so many of them are women. Did you notice that?
I was going to say here, pause. Look at how unthreatened they are. And I don't know if you have it, but you see how unthreatened they are. She touched that guy's shoulder and they treat him as though he was like, you know, calling for a bombing of someplace. That's how they're treating him, but they're completely unthreatened.
Yeah. 100%. And I can't even imagine 4 cops showing up.
Those 3 women, if that guy really wanted to cause a fuss, they couldn't do a damn thing. In fact, little scrawny boy on the right here, he ain't doing much either. Those 3 chicks would be laid out.
The 4 cops equals maybe 2.
It's the implied force.
Mm-hmm.
They just assume that because I wear a badge, therefore I have power, not when someone says, no, you don't. All right.
Like I can't imagine, or I can't imagine. I can't believe how many of these things that I've been seeing recently, like in that one that wouldn't load. Again, it was another female cop. Like there's so many of them. It's like, really, is this what you're signing on for? Just to go against hate speech? I don't know. It's so sad.
It's that these people, they have nothing actually. They aren't willing to stop the rape gangs that are going on in the UK. They have a big problem with that they're not doing anything.
What about the pedophiles? Like, where in any of these videos is it a pedophile that's actually getting arrested?
Yeah, it took 2 little girls with a knife and an axe to stop themselves from being raped.
You gotta start, dude. Edit yourself. R word. Yes.
Great.
Whatever. Yeah.
You know. Well. So that's their big point of contention.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can just accept you, mate. Right? You got anything on you at all? I've got my phone in my pocket. Yeah, fine.
We've got to search you because you're dangerous for words you said.
Absolute traitors to the country. You got shoes. You've wronged them guys.
Yeah, you are traitors.
Paedophile protectors.
Yeah. See? They're pedophile protectors, really? Yeah. Doesn't look like it.
Absolutely not.
Unreal. And so with Bill C9, this is what would happen if you criticize someone. This whole thing was about, like, we've been going for 2 hours. This whole thing shows if your opinion isn't in line with official government position, that's a hate crime. If you criticize an ideology that is not in line with a government worldview, you will be removed.
Yep.
And I want those laws gone. I think hate crime laws or hate speech laws
are stupid. I think that they are ineffectual. They are illogical. They are emotional. In fact, they encourage people to be more emotional. They want you to be offended and
more hateful.
And this is where, because conservatives within Canada, I'm going to call you guys out because you guys are the opposition. You're supposed to be the opposing voice to this shit. You guys play along with this stuff. You sit there and say, look, Mark Carney's flying around the world, pouring all this greenhouse gas crap into the air. And you know what the liberals will do? We've already seen it. In fact, we have seen quite a few posts with regards to this. They will come to you and say, so then you will support our bill. You guys are pushing the same views. Oh, you guys care about greenhouse gas? Then support our bill. And then you are now on the back foot saying, why aren't you?
Yeah.
Now you have to retract. Well, we didn't really care about that to begin with. We were just showing the hypocrisy. Well, that's not going to be shown. They're going to show, why are the conservatives talking about greenhouse gas? Clearly they care about greenhouse gas emissions, but yet they won't support a bill. That's what ends up happening. That's what these people end up doing. Instead of saying, you know what? We know greenhouse gases ain't that big of a problem. In fact, we should be looking at countries that are massive polluters. We should be looking at those countries and how can we help them maybe clean up their riverways a little bit. There's a river in Bangladesh I think its nickname is like Shit River because there's just garbage. It's just garbage that flows down this river because that's where everyone throws their stuff and then it goes out into the ocean. So you see this type of stuff and instead of the conservatives actually taking a position.
Trash river.
There you go.
But yes.
Yeah.
River of waste. Yeah.
Yeah. Show it. I think I posted on our X that this is the problem.
Ew. Sorry. Oh my God.
It's a river of garbage.
Ew. Oh my God. It just Oh my God. This is horrible.
There you go. So they bash us over the head with, like Canada, like I'll say, at least Canadians, we clean up after ourselves. We throw our stuff in the garbage. In fact, we get pretty pissed off when we see someone yeet a garbage, like any garbage out the window. We get pretty pissed off with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the people that are saying, hey, we want to keep Canada beautiful are in direct opposition to a government who imports people who literally come from that. And then if you criticize that, well, you need to be more considerate of their culture. It's like, no, they need to be considerate of my culture. You are a guest in my country. You came here to escape that.
Thanks.
I didn't go there and tell you guys how to run your shit country. Don't come here and try and destroy mine.
It's fair.
So that's where I think the conservatives, if I want to extend a bone to them, get off talking about this carbon capture garbage. Get off of it. No, we think that this is actually a bad idea. I shouldn't even say that we don't care. Hey, you know what? Yeah, we care about pollution. We're the conservatives. We don't want to see trash in our ditches. We don't want to see mounds of garbage flowing down our rivers. We don't want to see our beaches polluted with garbage. But the liberals do. There you go. You want your talking point? But the liberals are willing to do it. They're willing to bash you over the head with pollution while they tell you how dare you pollute.
Yeah.
I don't know why the conservatives don't take these positions. Either they're complicit, they're on the same side. I don't know. I really don't know.
Me neither. It's all bullshit. God, you suck at censoring yourself, by the way. All right. Well, we've been going for 2 hours. I know this is our first time back on YouTube, so we've had a little bit of a chat. We've missed some episodes, so we're kind of making up for lost time. Anyway, if you're new here, please hit the little subscribe button, like us, share us, all that fun stuff. It's going to help us out and keep us being able to talk. We are live every Monday and Wednesday and Saturday. So we'll catch you guys again on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Be kind to one another. We out.
Stop polluting.
Yeah.